going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Wavetech of WAVETECHBEATZ, Beats by Wavetech, whatever you want to call it. But welcome back. So it's been a while. I'm glad to be back, but I had to take a long hiatus. I was burnt out. So, but I'm back, and it's time to get back to teaching. It's time to get back to doing what we do, and that's making good music, being prepared, being business savvy, all of that good stuff. If y'all ready, let's get into today's video. We're going to talk about exactly how to be professional, all right, when you're doing the session, all right? And what that means is setting up a template so when you go in, you're not fiddling around, trying to find sounds, trying to find all of the elements. You already got it loaded up. That way when you hit the studio, you can make the best music you can, be professional, look professional, and get that money. Because we all trying to get to that bag. If you're ready to ride, we're going to jump over here on the computer. We're going to take care of that for you. All right? I'll see you in a second. All right, so let's talk about this. So let's just say that you're in the studio. And while I'm talking about this, I'm going to bring up an instance of Logic. Let's say you're in the studio, okay? And or you're not in the studio. Let's say you're at the crib. Somebody gives you a call. They want you to come to the studio. They want you to help knock out 4 or 5 beats, tracks, whatever. And they offer a hefty compensation for your time and your efforts, right? But you get to the studio and you ain't got nothing ready. You got to find your sounds. You got to do this. You got to do that. Well, we're going to try to end all of that today. So, setting up a template for your beats. Now, it's going to sound strange because here's why it's going to sound strange. When you're setting up a template, that template is not the exact form or format that you're going to use, but what it is it's a starting point. The worst thing you can do is be in a session and literally being in a session and just fumbling around trying to get the sounds together and things like that. So generally when you open up I'm using Logic, so we're gonna do this with Logic. But as you can see, when I opened up my Logic, basically what happened is it just went to the last track that I was working on. I'm not here to show you beats. I'm here to show you how to get down and make sure that you are pretty much set. So we're going to close this project, and actually we're going to go back over here to File. We're going to go New. Now, when you first open Logic, if it doesn't already go back to the last project you was working on, or any of your DAWs, if you haven't set the preferences, up here in this spot up here, you click on up here. Generally, it just comes up, and this is what it looks like. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a template real quick for a session. A lot of people want to build it the night before. That way, when they go in the studio, they already know exactly where everything is gonna go. They know how everything is gonna set up. So a couple of things that I tend to use that will help you in the long run. I definitely use virtual instruments. So I use Contact. I use a lot of Output, Arcade. I use Outputs. Exhale. I use Outputs. Analog strings, analog brass and winds, Substance. I've fallen in love with Output. But so check this out. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and walk through this. So generally, because I know exactly how I want to have mine set up. So here's what I do first. I'll do this, and I'm gonna tell you why I do this. So I'm gonna go 5 audio tracks, and then I'm gonna go back up here to the arrow, to the plus sign. So this is what Logic looks like. So you see I got the audio tracks right here, okay? I got 5 of them. I'm going to come out of there. We're going to click right here. We're going to go back up here, and I'm going to go over to software instruments. And because, and like I said, this is a starting point, okay? So we're building this template. So let's just say we're going to, for, tutorial purposes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say we're going to 5 with also, well, no, let's go back. Let's go 6. So we got 6. So as you can see, you got external MIDI. This is when you hook up like an external keyboard or external sound drive. We got drummer, we got audio, we got guitar and bass. So this is where you can hook up a guitar or bass to your system. We're gonna create this as well. All right, so now you see we have all our tracks and everything. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about none of this over here, because at this particular point, I don't know what tempo, I don't know what key. All of that's going to happen when I get to the studio, okay? So I'm not too much worried about this, but what I am pretty much worried about is I want to make sure that it's custom. So with that being custom, now, that means that my timer, the key, the keep tempo, all of that. So, again, I like to, we're setting this up as we go along. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to my Smart Tempo project, and I'm gonna explain to you why I'm going to my Smart Tempo project. Let's say that, just for instance, that I find a loop in Splice. Shout out to Splice. Splice I have used Splice for the last 2 or 3 years, and I kid you not, Splice is a lifesaver. So say I find a loop in Splice, and I love the loop, but it's not at the tempo that I want it to be at, okay? So there's ways that you can do this, but the quick way and have it already set up is I click up here where it says keep tempo. This window pops up, okay? Now I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to hit on and align to bars. All right. I got that the way I want it. Yes, I do. And that's basically that part right there. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to make sure everything's smooth. Yes, it is. Yep, we're going to close that out. Now, the reason I did that is because up here I might drag an audio file in, and I want it to align to the tempo, so it'll automatically detect it, and it'll jump into flex time. Now, that's for another video, but it'll jump into the flex time, and it'll automatically, the algorithm will take and depict exactly what algorithm, whether it's polyphonic, monophonic, rhythmic, slicing, anything. Logic's algorithm will detect that, and it automatically set it to the tempo. Now, as you can see, I have 5 and 5. Now, why do I need 5 audio tracks? Well, I might find a sample, and I might bring it in and chop it up and turn around and make my own sounds with it. Or I might find a hi-hat loop, have beat block or anything like that, writer's block. And, sometimes adding percussion sounds to help with the rhythm of the track, that's where these audio tracks come in at. So you could drop an audio track in here, in one of these. Now, the first one up here, trust me, this is what I'm gonna go ahead and label this, because this is how I like to have my tracks laid out. So we're gonna call it ref. So I know everybody's like, why would you call it ref? This is my reference track. So when you're in the studio, and somebody comes through and they want to have a similar sound to maybe a Lil Baby, or maybe to a Jay-Z or Beyonce or Taylor Swift or Garth Brooks, it doesn't make no difference who they want to have, something that gets right to that format. You got to have a reference track. You want to get as close to it as possible without copying it. So that's what that's for. So I've already made my reference track. Now, the audio, like I said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more audio tracks. Now, these could be anything. So I'm not going to touch those right now. But when I come down here to my instrument tracks, I already know that this is where a majority of my drums and my percussion is going to be. So I'm the type I like to use Ultra Beat. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my Ultra Beat, get all of that set up. I like to go to the drag and drop sample. And then what I do is I just clear this out and I'll name it, because that's where I'm going to put my kick drum. Come down to the next one. Same thing. Now, there is a simpler way to do this, because once I already have this done, basically I could literally go in here right now, and I'm going to show you this because this is easier. Because if I know that I want to use a synth like Alchemy or Contact, or you know, my outputs, arcade and all of that. So check this out. I'm gonna go ahead, and I know right there here that I want to use this for arcade. So we'll go down here, we'll go to my outputs, we'll go to arcade, we'll click that. So I know I want to use this for arcade. And arcade, if you haven't used arcade, I kid you not, arcade is my go-to VST. And so I know that this is arcade. I'm not going to touch it no more. But back up here, what I want to do is, okay, so I got my snare. So instead of me going back through here, because what I do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how we get down. It makes it a whole lot simpler for when I go here. So I already know I'm going to Contact here. We're going to go to Contact here. And then we're going to go to Contact here. Always make sure that you click on the track that you want to add that to. Alright, so now I didn't name these because I don't know which one I'm going to put here. I don't know if I'm going to use analog strings. I don't know if I'm going to use I don't know what I'm going to use. So I can't name it. But what I can do is just go ahead and type in Contact and leave it at that, so I know exactly. Yeah, let's do that. So I know exactly and I spelled that wrong. You have to forgive me. I'm in a rush. Never be in a rush. But good thing we can always go back. Click out of that. Go back. Kontaakt. Kontaakt. And then this one is arcade. So most things is not made by drums alone. So check this out. Now that I got this, all I got to do is click on it, right click on the snare. And because I've already gone in here, let me show you. Because I've already gone in Ultra Beat, and I do majority of my drums in Ultra Beat. Right here, I already did the drag and drop samples. What that did is they removed the factory settings, and I could drag in one shots that I find on Slice, loop packs that I get or whatever. But because I already got that down and I don't want to keep going back in there, so what I do is I just click on here and I new track duplicate settings, do it again. Because look, I got the kick, the snare, we probably get a clap, hi-hat, open hat, crash, 808. Plain and simple. I mean, that's that simple. And so we'll hit this again. So I know kick, snare, clap, hi-hat. Now, please believe me when I tell you, man, labeling is the key. You label everything that helps you stay in full effect, okay? Label everything helps you stay in full effect. Now, you see how we got that down pat right there? And I'm going to stop right there because even though I'll probably go back in here because this is going to be my new reference to all of my tracks, this is going to be my new template. So I got everything that I need. Now, here's the kicker. I will put my effects in here, but I don't know what effects I'm going to use because every sound is different. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm pretty much done. I'm going to go right up here. I'm going to click File. I'm going to click Save As Template. And then I'm going to name this Waves Beats. Waves Workflow. How about that? We're going to click Save. And then now that we got that complete, guess what? I'm going to close this out. We're going to hit Save again. Now we don't want to save. I don't think. I got to make sure I do this right. Because now I want to go to Logic. Because I've already closed it, I want to go New from Template. Did it save? Did it save? Did it save? Waves Workflow right here. Now you see how this is all? This is already pretty much set to certain templates. You know, I have my input device, my output device. You know, my output is just for strictly when I'm recording on OBS. So I click Choose. And there it is. That's how it's done. That's a template. Now I'm ready to go in, and every time I need to go in here and work on a beat or go in here and work on a track for one of the artists that I work with, shout out to my man J Rock over at Avalanche Recording Studios, A&F Family. I pull this up, and again, all I got to do is go in here. See, I got hi-hats. I know I want to open hat. I know I want to crash. You know, some things I don't. These is just the bare bones. So, if you like this video, because this is the conclusion of the template. If you like this video, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. That helps the algorithm. That helps me to listen. I'm not one of those who is going to say, hit my Cash App. That's not me. All right, that's not what I'm gonna do, man. That's not what I do. I just wanted to give you some of this free content to help you along because there's money out here for everybody to get. There's placements out here for everybody to get. There are opportunities out here for everyone, and I just want you to be able to get one of those opportunities. But I want you to be very professional. This is that series where we're gonna be professional. I'm back. We're gonna talk business. We're gonna talk beats. We're gonna talk placements. We're gonna talk professionalism. We're gonna handle our business because at the end of the day, this is what we need to do in order for us as a culture, beat makers, producers, artists, everyone. We need to make sure that we are professional. We handle our business so we don't get taken and we start losing money. All right. Hey man, it's been a pleasure to kick it with y'all today. I hope to see you again real soon. This is your boy WAVETECH from WAVETECH Beats. I'm out of here. Peace.